Hi, it's Heather Fraser from Explore Nature's Bounty, and I'm out on a trail today with Tina Bear, and we're going to be introducing some trees and some plants, looking at the medicinal and the health and wellness of these trees and plants, but also taking it to another level and learning the language of what these trees mean to other cultures. So Tina, take it away.
Okay, Nilgili with Tina, and I'm here to help you today to learn our apple tree name, Imelsi. So we pronounce it Gigania guemus. Gigania guemus.
And how do you use apples in your culture?
We can use them in a number of different recipes, and we can also use them in simmer pots.
Right.
I like them in simmer pots with other things, but with the apple, jigen, we like to make pies.
Yes.
And we can make crumbles, apple crumbles, apple fritters. I mean, all kinds of recipes too.
Absolutely. So wild apples are used on an annual basis when they're in season.
Yes. And also what I like about this is it also feeds the wildlife. The ones that fall from the tree, the animals will come in here and they'll clean up the ground and also nourish themselves.
Absolutely, and we've seen lots of white-tailed deer tracks,
Yes.
so we know that the white-tailed deer are going to definitely feed on the apples, as will our bears, because our bears also love apples when they're in season. So Tina, we're going to get you to explain and give our languages for these beautiful trees.
All right. For the white birch, we call that musquemus. If you want to say longer or shorter, there's two different ways. But so we have the white birch, which are used for wigwams, and it's the perfect tree. It's the perfect wood to have. It's very durable. And then we have the yellow birch. So for the birch itself, it would be misson, and for the word yellow we use misaweo. So if we could put them together, that would mean yellow birch, right?
Okay, so we're on to another wild plant that I really love in the forest, and it actually has flowers on it in June and July, and it's wild rose. And what Tina is holding right now, the hips, I actually make a rose hip tea and a rose hip jelly. But what can you tell us, Tina, about this plant and how you would use it and the language behind it?
Well, what I've learned recently is that the rose hips, the leaves are beneficial for skincare, maybe like your face and your hands. It would be the oils in these leaves that would help for skincare. Now, I'm going to try to say this in Melseat, so bear with me. It's a long word. It's 22 letters. It's not a word that I use every day. So I'm going to read it, and I'm going to try to pronounce it. So it's Gigchalagigweminsimus. That's a very long and difficult word, but if we practice it more, we would learn it.
So our next plant is out actually in a woodland setting, and it's the burdock, and it's really not hard to identify. It's got that cluster of sharp spikes that kind of stick to your clothes if you were to run through it. It does have a pretty purple flower on it. You can actually eat the burdock root when it's young in the spring, and I guess you can make a tea out of it.
The traditional name for burdock is gawis. And if I wanted to say more than one burdock, I would say gawis.
Okay, Tina, so our next plant that I really use a lot in the forest, and you'll see it all along the forest floor here, is called horsetail. And I'll just tell a little story before you share your point, is that this is a very old plant, one of the most primitive plants that we have in our area. And basically my grandmother would tell me that they would pick these and they would dry them and they would turn them upside down, and when they dry they get quite coarse, and when they would get quite coarse they would tie them and they would use them as a broom to be able to sweep out their mud floors. But there's other uses of the plant. So if I come to it very closely so that you can see, if you could just pull off a little piece, you'll see that it has little segments in the plant. And if you pull off a piece, you can actually take that segment and plant it back into the forest floor, and it will grow. And what horsetail is good for as well is that it has high silica. And high silica, if you know silica, it is very good for your nails and for brittle hair. So you could actually make a tea out of it, and you could drink it, and it would help with brittle nails and hair.
In Malseet, we'll call it ahos sagwin.
So out on our walk, of course, one of the things that I always do when I'm out and about with a group is look down into a bed of clover and see if we can find 4, maybe even a 5-leaf clover, which I have found in this patch for you, Tina. So let's see if you can find. You're very close. Hot.
Hot.
Oh, you're touching the 5.
Wow.
There you
are.
There you are, a 5-leaf clover.